What's going on, everybody? Got Kody Ashmore here, bringing you tonight's free video. And in this video, what I'm going to do is talk about iceberg orders. I know a lot of you have been seeing me trade with them or using that data point in my analysis of trading for what I consider a high probability trade. And so what I'm going to do in this video is I want to discuss what iceberg orders are, where you can find them, and a few examples on what, or I guess on how you could use them. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so first off, iceberg order, what is it? I guess the best way to first go about it is let's bring up a picture of an iceberg. All right, so an iceberg order is typically just like this. So what you need to know is, okay, so let's just say all this below the water right here is hidden, and only right here is all that could be seen. So if we're going to use this in terms of a trade, what we're going to do is let's pretend that there is a 1,000 contract order in the futures market. We'll use the ES as an example. There's an order, an institution or a large trader that wants to fill 1,000 contracts, which is quite a bit. Once he get filled. However, he doesn't want to show his hand, doesn't want to spook the market, doesn't want to make the algorithms that are watching for big orders to front run them and things like that. So he wants the order hidden. That's the intent behind iceberg orders, is to hide your order so no one knows your intention, so you get better fills. And I guess that's pretty much it, really. But hide the orders. No one knows your intention, so no one front runs you, and you get the better fill, right? When you have a large order, the best average fill matters. So if we're going to go ahead and pretend, like I said, that there is 1,000 contracts, they need to be filled, but you don't want people to know. Well, what we're going to do is you can, whatever system you're using for trading iceberg orders, I've seen a few of them, but it's not like some super secret thing. Most platforms have it. But what you would want to do is like, hey, I only want 20 contracts to show at a time. Okay, so then what it will do is, let's just say, since right now we'll say that ES is at 6,000 and you're wanting to buy 1,000 worth near the average of 6,000. And like I said, you only want 20 showing at a time. So then you'll have 20 here. And then let's just say the market comes down and fills this 20. Great. Now you have 980 contracts. And up here, you actually have, now you'll have another 20. And then say this 20 gets filled, then another 20 pops up, and that 20 gets filled, and another 20 pops up. And then this just keeps on going from 980 to 960, and then to 940, all the way up until that 1,000 is filled. And then whatever the market does from that point happens. But the point of an iceberg is it is usually a large trader that is hiding his position for whatever reason. To make it happen. So what you could do with that is, I've noticed around those levels, especially if you use whatever technical analysis that you have, you use that system and you tie in this little bit of institutional order flow, you usually get some pretty good high probability setups. And I'll show you exactly where you can find these. And if this concept of explaining the iceberg order doesn't make sense, please go ahead and throw a question down in the comment. I'll come back and answer them for you. But that way you understand what you're saying. That way you understand what's being talked about first, right? So now let's go ahead and talk about here. Okay, so these blue boxes here, these are where iceberg orders are. I shut down my system earlier and I turned it back on, and you should see a bunch of these around here. There was a bunch over here, and whenever I was uploading the past that, for whatever reason, it's not pulling up. Here's going to take my word for it. And if you traded live with me this morning, then you saw where they were, but this is where iceberg orders were. And so what you can do is, okay, so here was some right here, and I just boxed them out like it is right here, and then some more came in down here. So this morning, I actually took a long out of this iceberg order and took it up to about right here. I didn't get the whole move. And then it flushed back down. Then I took another trade. Actually, I did not take another trade. I took another trade over here, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But this morning, all I did was get long right here in this iceberg area and took it up to about here when price was stalling at the New York session anchored VWAP for a quick little trade. Nothing super fancy, right? I will say in hindsight, shorting it would have been the better idea, but the market's so extended that outside, honestly, I was looking for a pop. However, yeah, that's typically what iceberg order is right there, right? And what it is, but how I used it. Sorry, kind of like all over the place. All right, so like I said, so from here and rallied it up. And then another one is I'm gonna come over here, and then you can also look at this. It makes sense. I also put the blue one here where the iceberg orders were. So you can see at this little moment right here, there was that break, and this is the area where I took a long and only took it up to about like right here. So I mean, that's tick wise, that's a pretty good little chunk. I made a quick little trade there. In hindsight, you can see how price was bouncing around between, and then right here was just sandwiched between these two iceberg levels. And then whenever it broke that low, which also correlates with the 15-minute range breakout, right? I mean, honestly, could have gotten short here, stop on the other side of the iceberg orders, and then had a larger fall through to the downside. But yeah, that was one trade. And the other one that I did, like if we go ahead and just show you how powerful it is using this, is let me screenshot this. It's like, so doing all this, I made a little over $5,000 today, right? And so that was one trade. And then the other trade that I took this morning was after my live session. So come over here, is right here. So there was another iceberg order being filled right here, a really large one. Right here, there was, I think it said it was about 1,200 contracts right here. And so what I do is I'll box out that area. And you can see that whole time, especially when the market is so far to the downside, I didn't get short here. It flushed. I waited for it to rally up, and then I did get a short out of it. I'm kind of held here, and it popped back up. I did add another one, tight stop on the other side of the iceberg order. Caught a little flush here, closed one, and then it rallied back up again. Took another short, stop on the other side, and took it back right back down to here and closed it. Of course, on the third time is whenever it actually hit here again and flushed even further. However, I did not take that trade. But you can see also price rallied all the way up, and look, we came up and tested this iceberg zone again. And look, this is a good spot to get short, stop on the other side, and then you let it trail yourself down. I would have took some profit here at this iceberg order, and then obviously, next to be targeting the lows or whatever technical analysis perspective you use. But you can see how these give you an opportunity to make high probability decisive trades, knowing which side an institution's on. And you don't blindly follow the icebergs. You tie it into whatever technical analysis system you're using. Like I have the squeeze here with some structured candle stuff. If you're using big three, things like that, it doesn't matter what you're using. You just add whatever your trigger is into that system, and then it can allow you to have some good high probability trades. But I'm curious to see what you got low, because like right here is 1,000. Or is this just going to be accumulation before they move back higher? Obviously, I don't know. But if you did not have a chance to trade live with me this morning, check out the recording. You can see how and when I did it. And if this is something you're interested in messing with, what I would want you to do, if you're wanting to use Bookmap, which is what this is, if you are wanting an opportunity to use it, I do have, like we'll just go to here, go to my YouTube channel. It's just active profits at YouTube. Monthly earnings. I'm actually not even monetized. That's not right. But you just say this features day trading strategy here. It's for day trading the squeeze on futures. Just click that one. And if you scroll on down, scrolling down, click more right here. Right here, this link tree. If you click that, and then what I want you to do, or I don't say I want you to do, if you want to try Bookmap for 50% off, you don't need a coupon code or anything like that. Just come all the way down to this right here. And if you click that link and sign up, you'll get 50% off for 3 months. If that's something you're interested in trying out, if that's something that's interesting to you. If you want to trade with me live, we still have this here. And then also have a free little day trading course there if that's something you're interested in as well. But I hope y'all found this video helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And if that's, anyways, goodbye.
Without simpler trading, I could not have financial independence.
This is one of the best investments I ever made in my life.
It's helping me find consistency.
It's one of the things that won me